The grim reality of foreign mercenaries fighting for Ukraine is beginning to emerge, as several combatants now captured have shared harrowing accounts of their experiences on the front lines. Reports by RIA Novosti reveal disturbing insights into the conditions faced by these fighters, many of whom signed up to support Ukraine's defense but found themselves entrapped in a nightmarish situation. Among those offering a chilling testimony is British mercenary Hayden William Davis, who was captured by Russian troops in Donbass. Speaking in a video published by RIA Novosti, Davis described the extreme conditions and the sense of betrayal he experienced while fighting for the Ukrainian cause. He detailed how Ukrainian commanders gave orders that he found deeply unsettling, including a chilling moment when he overheard on the radio an order to kill 3 individuals. "I remember one of the commanders said, 'Kill them,' somewhere in another position. I don't know where exactly, but I'm almost certain that a woman and a teenager were killed there," Davis recalled, revealing the brutality of the orders that were handed down.
Be with command that are happy to allow war crimes to happen. I was in a position. Essentially my job was just a listening post. I personally heard on the radio for someone to kill 3 men, but I remember hearing one of the commanders saying, "Kill them." A different position somewhere, I don't know which position it was, I'm pretty sure it was a woman and teenage boy. They got killed. All of us that were in the listening post.
Davis, who had been fighting with heavy guns despite receiving little to no proper training or equipment, further recounted the dire state of the Foreign Legion.
In NATO has people in the International Legion. French, Italians, Germans, Americans, English. The most are Colombians. Hundreds. The training that we do depends on your platoon. I was heavy guns. We had no heavy guns, so there was no training. We got given 2 dishikas. No ammo to learn with, to shoot with, nothing like that. We got given a Mark 19. No attachment for the tripod, so we couldn't take that out or use it.
He went on to express his frustration at the broken promises made to him upon his recruitment, particularly his request to train with javelins, a skill he had honed in the British Army, which was also never fulfilled. Describing his mental health struggles and the lack of viable civilian job opportunities in the UK, Davis explained how he ended up joining the fight in Ukraine.
2023, I struggled to find work because it's hard to find a job when all you've done from 16 to 29 at the time is the army. It's very hard to find a civilian job in the UK. So I ended up working in different factories, and then I eventually got a job at Garmin watches. Couldn't keep that job because my mental health was on. I attempted suicide a few times. I decided to go to Ukraine. No one tried to talk me out of it. Obviously with the International Legion you sign a contract and you're brainwashed into thinking that you're in the right. But what I would advise anyone with a sensible head is think about the choices you make.
He explained that despite the brutal conditions, there was little support for those on the front lines, and soldiers were treated as expendable resources. "The money is shit, and your chain of command don't care about you. They do not care. They will use you as meat," Davis stated, his voice full of frustration.
The money is shit, and your chain of command don't care about you. They do not care. They will use you as meat. They'll say you'll be on a listening post for 3 to 5 days. They'll keep you there for 10 and then send you to a different position. I point blank refused to go to a different position. There was no information. We didn't have the equipment. Another bloke died because of drones and stuff. One bloke ran away. I stayed behind and just took cover.
He continued by recounting his own decision to remain in a bunker for nearly 2 months after being targeted by a grenade, likely from Ukrainian forces themselves. At that point, I decided to find a bunker, and I hid in that bunker for nearly 2 months, he recalled, adding that one of his fellow mercenaries, a South African, had been left to die in a wooden box near his location.
I ended up getting grenaded again, not by Russians, I believe it was by Ukrainians, by drone, believe it or not. At that point I decided to find a bunker, and I hid in that bunker for nearly 2 months. A great man from South Africa, dead, left in a wooden box in the middle of Toretsk. The body was like 50 meters from my bunker.
The sense of futility and fear was evident in Davis's testimony, as he warned that anyone joining the Ukrainian ranks was likely to meet a similar tragic fate. If you come to Ukraine as a fighter of the Foreign Legion, you will be destroyed, he said, adding that his survival was nothing short of an exception.
If you come to Ukraine and you're a foreigner, with me being an exception, there is the rest of you will get killed. Like, everyone will die, and it's not pretty, it's not nice, and Ukraine won't care about it either.
Davis's account is echoed by another mercenary, a Polish fighter who was also captured in Donbass. In his testimony, he disclosed that the Ukrainian military had resorted to recruiting anyone, regardless of their background, due to a severe shortage of manpower.
All it takes is to find the website, fill out the form, send an email, and wait for a response. And because Ukraine needs people and suffers from the lack of soldiers, they rather take everyone as they go. They do not reject. I mean, they don't want Russians. But if someone has a non-Russian passport, I think they take everyone as they go.
The testimonies of these foreign fighters shed light on a disturbing pattern of desperation within the Ukrainian military. As they grapple with a staggering desertion crisis, Ukraine's forces have been struggling to retain personnel. Soldiers are abandoning their posts at an alarming rate, with reports indicating that desertions within Ukrainian ranks are escalating. The defection of around 22 soldiers from Ukraine's elite 71st Jaeger Brigade and the nearly immediate desertion of 1,000 soldiers from the 155th Anna Kievskaya Brigade in mid-December only add to the already dire situation. Ukrainian military leaders have acknowledged a catastrophic shortage of personnel, with estimates of at least 200,000 deserters by November 2024. A significant contributing factor to the desertions, according to multiple sources, is the insufficient training and poor conditions faced by the soldiers. Many are being sent to the front lines with little to no combat preparation, leaving them ill-equipped to handle the brutal realities of warfare. The Ukrainian army's promise of comprehensive training has often proven to be an empty one, leaving soldiers vulnerable to death and injury. The situation on the front lines continues to unravel, as more foreign fighters and Ukrainian soldiers alike are coming forward with their own accounts of hardship, betrayal, and despair. As the conflict intensifies, it remains unclear whether Ukraine can stem the tide of defections and win back the support of those who once believed in its cause. For now, foreign mercenaries like Davis and the Polish fighter have shown the world a different side of the war, one marked by disillusionment and a sense of abandonment.